Welcome to the Business Bada Revolution. I'm your host, Pat Honiotes. We're here to talk about doing business from the inside out because being an entrepreneur shouldn't suck. Remember, business badasses are made, not born. Welcome to the show. And welcome back to another episode of the Business Bada Revolution. I love saying that because it makes people perk up and pay attention. And we have a particularly wonderful badass with us here today. I'm going to introduce you to Ron here in just a minute. But I'm also going to tell you that this is going to be a little bit different than what we usually do on this podcast. Many times, Ron, we're just talking about business concepts and how, the different subconscious things impact your business.
Right.
But you and I had a conversation several weeks ago that was an amazing conversation. I loved it. And I want to thank you for being willing to come and revisit that conversation on a live podcast.
Good. Thank you.
It's vulnerable, but it's also business badass.
No
okay. I'm not really sure where to start, so I'm going to tell a little bit of my side of the story. And if it doesn't jibe with what you were thinking or where we really were, I want you to speak up. Okay. Of course, I know you're real bashful about speaking up, but anyway.
No, I'm shy.
There's times in our businesses that we're vulnerable. I mean, we're vulnerable all the time if you really want to look at it that way. But there's times that not wanting to be vulnerable really puts a stop on things. One of the things that we started talking about, Ron, when we were having coffee was how people perceive you, how you really are, how you enforce or reinforce people's opinion of you, even if it's not necessarily 100% accurate. Does that cover kind of what we were talking about?
Yeah, I think so.
And then what we really didn't get into is how does that really impact you in your business? Now, obviously, it's not making you a poor man. I'm sure you're not, ready to go bankrupt, but it does impact on how you do things day to day and how you present yourself in different situations. Is that a fair assessment?
Yes.
Okay. What else would you say about that? By the way, this is my friend Ron Young, and thank you for being here. This is taking some. I really appreciate this. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me. I guess repeat that. Repeat what you just got done saying. What you just said again.
Lots of luck, Ralph. What it is people have a perception of us that may or may not be accurate. Okay. We feed into that perception even if we don't like it sometimes. Okay. And we don't always correct people. And I personally think that has a big impact on our business and how we conduct businesses. Okay. When we were talking, one of the things you shared with me was that people just think you're the biggest pain in the butt walking the street. Don't want to deal with you. You're hard to get along with. All of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'll correct that. Okay. I'm reflecting back to what we talked about.
All right.
With that comment.
Okay.
I am a direct person. Okay. I'm very truthful, and it's hard truth. Call it tough love. And my filters they're not that, I try to reword this. Sometimes I don't have filters, yet I can speak politically and say the right thing. But sometimes the right thing doesn't get your point across. As much as I say something and how direct I am, it doesn't mean I'm not taking or respect the other person's opinion.
Okay. And that's one of the points we wanted to get across, because you're not the only person that does this. Okay. And sometimes we interpret things just one way. Mm-hmm. So please continue with what you were going to say. Right. It doesn't mean you're lacking respect.
Yeah, right. Exactly. But in some cases, and oh gosh, do I really want to go there? The North and the South. Okay. Being raised in Michigan, you could go after somebody, and as long as you respect their opinion, you do this. Since I moved here, And a lot of people told me this, but I've been successful with, by doing it, because when people really get to know me, you're not going to catch me in a lie. You're not going to catch me saying something untrue. And you are going to get, like in business, you're going to get the solution for you. You're going to get my opinion. Will my opinion be right? No. It goes back to my dad. When I was growing up and I said I was going to do this, it wasn't, oh, good, go do it. Okay, this is a great. My dad asked me questions. Why? Because he wanted me to stand up for what I believed in and have my beliefs or feelings behind that. This is why. Can that be changed? In some cases, yes, or maybe. But it doesn't mean that in the conversation, the opposite opinion isn't in the back of my head, because with life, things change. So maybe that situation changes or that comment changes. But I was brought up, and my dad was a joker. My dad was, and you know me, I throw jokes all the way around to everybody. Just to put a smile on someone's face. But I was brought up in the case of always asking questions to say, do you really believe in this? Or are you just saying this because it's a trend? I raised my son the same way.
Okay, I want to take you back a minute. I hear you. I get the background. I get the underlying. How does that impact how you do business?
I guess it depends on the personality trait that I'm up against.
It's interesting that you say up against, but go ahead.
Okay, well, or dealing with.
But you got the difference right away. That's why you started chuckling.
Up against, dealing with. There's some personalities I just plain will not. There's no way.
And there's some personalities that won't deal with you.
Correct.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because okay. I forget the six personalities that are there, but one is a driver. I am definitely a driver. I am not passive. I am not someone who's going to sit back and do that, but then behind someone's back say something.
Tell me the people that don't want to work with you and why.
Passive aggressive.
Say more. I told you this interview was going to be different, people. And it's because there's a lot of people out there that I deal with every day that have this same thing going on.
Yeah.
And I want you to hear both sides of it. Go ahead. Tell me about the people that don't like to do business with you because they think you're what?
I'm rough and I'm direct. And a lot of people don't like hearing things direct.
Okay.
Or they don't like the tough love. They want to be in their own shell, and they like to be patted on their back for something that is standard or normal.
So what are they missing then? When they think you're just a hard ass that's difficult to get along with, what are they missing?
Someone has really got their back.
Say that louder one more time.
Someone that's really got their back.
Yeah.
I will bring a comment up from my largest customer. They're $1.5 billion a year company. Okay. I consult, I advise on a weekly basis. And when he introduces me to new suppliers that he wants to deal with, he goes, Ron is going to be involved. You will tell Ron everything that we're doing on the back end. But the minute you act up, I have a bulldog in my corner. That put a smile on my face to say, that's someone who gets me. Mm-hmm. Now, of course, this is also someone I've known for a year because they were a tech of mine too. But he gets me, that he knows that when I'm dealing with him for what they need, that I'm going to listen. I'm going to be compassionate. If I think he's on the wrong path, I'll give my opinion, take his opinion, evaluate it, balance it. But he knows deep down inside that if something goes wrong, that Ron is going to go after somebody,
The bulldog.
to straighten things out the right way. The delivery, the order, the price, the problem, the getting the repair done in a prompt manner,
Right.
with no BS or I'm waiting for a voicemail or a text message to return. Get on the phone and pick up it and talk to somebody.
Okay.
Get the problem resolved now. So I guess in that point is the people who see me as rough, and they not rough around the edges, but just totally rough, they're missing out on somebody who has their back.
That's good. You got your back, or you got their back.
I'm there. I'm the problem solver in my family.
So how does that, in terms of business, how does that conflict sometimes?
I think the confliction is more of going to be the in the back end of somebody, talking to people before that another person talks to me. So it's that whisper, that's the passive side, that don't want to reflect their opinion because they think they're saying something wrong or they're not sure of what they stand for. So it's the whispering on the back end that I think would impact the business.
Okay, so it's people telling other people about you before they even meet you.
Correct.
Okay.
That's the way I perceive it.
Has that happened that you know of?
Oh, yeah.
Probably. Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah.
No, yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah. Years
Okay.
ago.
Now, obviously, you're still here, and so you're able to handle that.
Mm-hmm.
But it also has to impact you in here.
To a point, yes.
Okay.
But I am one to do this and ignore it. Do I try to fix it?
Sometimes.
Sometimes I do, by showing another side. But it's me. I can't get away from I can't get away from telling the direct truth, whether the truth hurts or not. I just can't get away from it.
Okay. And personally, I would never ask you to do that. But what I want to, I do this. Yeah, you do, but it doesn't mean it's not impacting you. And I told you I was going to get down and dirty and inside a little bit today.
I knew that.
And so it's what's important for our listeners to hear on this business from the inside out is that you're not saying this is just a big old rock in my chest. It's not a heart, that it doesn't affect me, that it doesn't. And that doesn't come across. You don't want it to come across because then you can't be that bulldog.
Right.
All right. So, at what point is that enough? At what point is the bulldog enough for your client and for you?
Maybe not so much in the beginning, but like I said, when people know that I'm a problem solver and they know that there's something they can't handle, I'll go to personal life. If there's a problem in the family and someone needs to be talked to that they messed up, my wife goes,
let's keep this to business, though. Because
you call them. Well, it's kind of the same thing because I'm the same way in the business, is that when there's a problem, I deal with it, and I deal with it head on. I don't deal with it in a circle. I don't start here and end up here.
I get you.
I'm a straight line. So in that case, does it affect me to a point, like you said in here? To a point, but then again, you can't lose sleep over it if you want to move forward.
Oh, no, I totally agree. All I want them to hear, and what I really want them to understand is that it does affect you here. And it does affect people like you here.
Yeah.
Okay?
I agree.
Because a lot of people think it doesn't. And I'm not just talking about you. All right? There's he's a hard ass. I'm not going to work with him. He doesn't have any feelings. And that's not just you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And what I want people to understand is what you're getting is a bulldog for your business. Okay? And You're probably not, and you're going to see this, brush it off. But that's not the end of it. because I think that will change things for them.
Yeah.
Okay? What don't they hear? What don't they hear that you say at times when you're not being a bulldog? What are some things that are important to you and really get you right here? I know one. Tell me about your veterans.
Well, I have, okay. I am very tied into a lot of nonprofits and have been since the day I touched down in Tennessee in 2004. There's passions. There's passions with children.
There's passions with children, or you have passions for children? I'm putting you on the spot. I promised you I would.
I do. In fact,
No, you have passion
I
for
have
children.
passion for children.
Okay.
I was a single parent father. It was a piece of cake. I didn't have a problem. I did not have a problem. But I see that, but I had a support team. My mother, but my son didn't suffer. But did he sacrifice? Yes. But he also flourished.
Tell me
from
about
that.
your passion for children and veterans.
Okay, well, kind of
I will keep pulling you back because I know how you are.
I was giving you a story heading up to that.
Let's go.
Is that I see that there's a lot of people that don't have it. So I got tied into a nonprofit in the very beginning.
Okay.
And here's one thing. When I first met this particular person, he actually went to someone. I heard it behind my back going, is this guy for real? Because I was so direct. Because I said, what can I do? How can I help? How can I get involved? Because I met him, and the first day I was just turning around because he was telling me he was working with single family homes that kids were going off to the right, off to the left, and they were trying to keep them on the straight line. And so how can I help? He goes, is this guy for real? A month later, best friends. Okay. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But probably because I was more direct of being aggressive of trying to get involved in the situation. Veterans, my dad served in World War II. My nephew did 2 tours in Afghanistan. The day he was getting ready to leave, someone pulled a pin on a grenade. Luckily, there was mud in the area. The bomb didn't go off. And it's just respect for the people who have sacrificed for us.
It's more than respect. I want you to go underneath that respect and tell me what's there.
There's a love for their sacrifice.
Thank you.
Okay. Yesterday, we did a Christmas shopping thing at a veteran's home, and they can't get out and go shopping. So we had a lot of donations. We bought a lot of gifts. We combined with another VFW. And so there were some decent gifts, more stocking stuffers to the point, but it's something. And then we wrapped it for them. And some of the people said, we'd write the names down. No, I want my signature on it. Okay. So to say, okay, we did this for you. So you want to finish, put your touch on it. We're good. And it was fun. And it was heartfelt to see smiles.
Mm-hmm. What did that do for you?
It made me feel good. I'm giving back.
Yeah. Okay.
I helped. I made someone smile. I made someone's holiday better.
And in the very same body, in the very same spirit, is a hard-ass bulldog.
Yes, definitely.
And what I want people to see is you can have both.
Yeah.
Why do you suppose this subject is so near and dear to my heart? Because I'm perceived the same way a lot.
Definitely.
Yeah, that was my nickname, TMF. And we can be that if we need to. But I want people to see that there's more than one side. And here's the thing, folks. It's not just about TMF versus a sweetheart. We make assumptions about a lot of people that we really need to stop and think. We have a friend in common that everybody just thinks she's the quietest, most gentle, sweetest, wouldn't say a cuss word if her mouth was full of it. Just this demure little... And they treat her that way. And they talk about her that way. You know who I'm talking about.
I hired her.
Okay, there you go. Hired. And it's because you were able to see, or you were willing to see beyond our outside performance, or her outside performance.
And then sometimes, people always say the first 30 seconds or 60 seconds, you can read somebody. I'm pretty good at reading people. But the thing is you don't also assume.
Exactly.
You do your initial evaluation or your additional read, but then you give them a couple shots as far as a testing of what they saying. Is it true? Are they there, or is it a facade that they're putting on?
So my experience has been with a lot of the business people I've worked with, they don't even think about that. They just make their assumption and go on. They don't even think there might not be another aspect. That we're just so busy going through our businesses and going through our lives, we just assume that you're a hard ass. We just assume that she's a shrinking violet.
Right.
And they're missing out on one powerful, powerful person there.
I wouldn't have anybody else having my back end.
I got you. Me too.
I'm the bulldog that's got the mouse on the back end. She's a mouse that is the bulldog on the back end. So
there you go.
Trust me, I don't know exactly who you're talking to.
Yeah.
And it took me a while, and because she was such a sweetheart, it took me a while to see the other side, to dig into how she ran her business, and hear from other people that were in a situation that her bulldog had to come out.
Oh, I'm telling you, she saved my buns more than once.
Yeah.
And some money.
Yeah.
But here's the whole idea behind this is I don't know how to ask this question, so be patient with me. What goes through your mind, or how do you process your first impression with maybe there's another aspect? Did that question make sense?
I always do.
I know, but I want to know how you do that. I know how I do it. How do you do it? What's your process, or do you even know what the process is? You just do it.
I'm going to just say that I can't say a process. I just kind of do it within my read of a person. It's not always the first time or the first conversation. It's sometimes watching them interact with somebody else. I stay away from people talking in the background, in my ear about somebody. I ignore it. Or I put it in the back, but it's not in the forefront of.
I hear you.
Figuring that out. Okay, it's like, okay, someone said this about it, but do I trust this person that really made that comment?
Yeah, exactly. Did you learn this from your dad? Was he that way too? Because you talked a lot about your dad a few minutes ago, and.
Well, yeah, my dad was always the fun one. My dad was always the life of the party.
Okay, but did he see both aspects of folks?
In the service industry, I'll say yes.
Okay.
When it come down to solving problems with the family at work, the stress, my dad worked 2 jobs, which I have a lot of love and respect for that. I think he saw both aspects and did it, but I said, was it a discussion? Because I know I would turn around and, Dad, I just asked you a question, or I just told you something, and why are you asking me a bunch of questions? And after a bunch of conversations, he'd turn around and say, because I need you to stand up for what you believe, and you have to have reasons why. So if you come into a conversation, you have facts behind you, or beliefs, or things that have happened in life that are there. Okay, so that's where that come from. So I'm sure the same way, because I'm sure he did the same thing with everybody else. He's asked a ton of questions.
Is there a part of you, no matter how small or how subconscious, is there a part of you that kind of enjoys having people think you're a TMF?
Sometimes.
Okay.
They're put me up against someone like me, and in a way, I enjoy that.
I hear you.
Okay, but then again, it's handled differently. Of
course.
And I'll give you an instance of a particular customer. He was a bigger TMF than me, okay, but had no facts behind it, in a way. And then finally, I'm not going to go into total detail, but I told him he was fired. And I said, if we're going to continue, this is the statistic. This is going to be the procedure. He's one of my best customers now, and we get along well. And people perceived him as a very rough person. But I saw through his customers, through his kids, through his wife, I saw the heart. So I didn't, even judgment, everybody thinking he was a hard ass, I knew there was a heart there. It wasn't the initial conversation. It wasn't the stories I've heard and everything else. I knew the guy had a heart. I just had to find a way to get it out. Well, how I got it out was being a hard ass. Okay? And it showed.
How
and
do
now
people
it's there.
get to your heart? I'm not telling. I know, but I'm not telling. Because there's a part of, look at me. There's a part of you that wants that too.
Yeah, but I gotta think about this one.
Yeah.
It's a toughie.
Because it's not about you. Okay? If I want to get to your heart, that has to be coming from me, not you. It has really nothing to do with you. Does that make sense? So one of the ways I do it,
it's got to be that I have to see that what they say is true. Is truthfulness, honesty. Honesty to me is.
But they need to listen to what you're already saying. May I give a couple of examples?
Yeah, go ahead. Since you saw it, and I'm because I'm not sure, and you saw it.
Well, I've seen it in more than one place, and so there's times when I hear that Ron is this or Ron is that, I go, huh? It doesn't compute. The other day in a network meeting, you were sharing one of your experiences over Thanksgiving, right? Mm-hmm. And the thing that just jumped out was when you said, I did some heart shopping for Christmas. And it just rolled off your tongue. I did some heart shopping for Christmas.
Yeah.
So it's about being willing to pick up on things like that, because things like that don't come out of your mouth very often.
No.
Okay? It's about really paying on. I'm using you because you got the guts to sit here in the chair and talk to me. But that's true with everyone. When you and Jim talk about the fundraising and that for your veterans, your tone of voice changes, your energy changes, and the heart's there.
Yeah, but then again, too, and I'll word it this way too, both nonprofits I'm talking with, I've been the driving force of a lot of income. Why? Because I have no problem asking for stuff.
But that's
but
great.
But the thing is when I'm asking for it, I'm not asking for me. I don't do it. I'm asking for the mission.
Well, hang on.
For the help.
I'm going to argue with you.
What's that?
Okay? It's because when you're asking for them, you're asking from the heart, not the bulldog. I'm not going to give my money to a bulldog.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, because I think at that point, yes, I think people do see my passion in that level, and that's why I rolled off one, because there is a heart passion for the veterans.
Oh, I get it.
I
get it.
There is something that when we get together with them once a month, whether it's a regular veteran or not, and by hearing some of their stories for a veteran, their family are the people they served with. Their family isn't necessarily their family. So to see them smile and have a night out.
I want to make sure we're getting a point across here. You and
heartful.
I together.
Yeah.
Okay?
It's hurtful.
Mr. Producer, Trent, is the point coming, because I really want people to get this, from your perspective as an audience member right now, is the point coming across that we need to look beyond first impressions? We need to look beyond somebody's rep as a this or a that?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not just about picking on Ron here, and I don't think I'm picking on you.
No, you're not.
But I want
because that's when the bulldog comes out. But anyway.
Oh, we would never want that to happen. So, but it's the whole idea is I think if we gave each other more breaks, and I have to ask somebody that's just watching, like Trent, and he's producing over here, because I'm involved right here.
Right.
Okay, so I can't see what's going on out here. The whole idea behind this for me was to have people notice that, because you've got a rep, you know that. I'm not telling you anything you don't know as a hard ass and a bulldog.
Right.
And there are many, but you don't really let people see the other side too much. And so we have to look for it. And I just want to encourage people to look for that other side of everybody so they're not missing out.
Yeah, and I think I'm pretty. I don't judge first opinion, unless it's so belligerent.
Well, that's
way off the line, and you know where that line is. That okay. Then after that, then it's an acquaintance. Hey, how you doing? How's your day? Good to see you. Oh, got to go talk to this person. So those are people you end up avoiding. But, so I don't have a first impression that really sticks with me. Sometimes it takes time. There's a couple people that I liked in the beginning, but then I didn't like after like a second thing.
Because the performance dropped?
But I still gave them time. And now I respect the hell out of them. Where I didn't, and then old school, you don't get respect, you have to earn it. And a lot of people think that they should just get respect right off the bat.
My belief is that every single human being has a birthright of dignity and respect. And what you read, just by the fact that you're a human being and you were born. However, many times what happens is people give it away.
True.
Okay? Because I think just by the fact that we're here and that we're born, we deserve it, we have it. It's a little bit skewed, and I get that, but that's okay with me.
Go back and I'm interested in your perspective of this. You still have to earn respect.
No, I just have to not do anything to lose it.
Okay. Makes sense.
To me, there's a difference.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And,
that's a different one. Okay. That's a good perspective. I like that change. Don't do anything to lose it. Okay. Yeah. So I guess coming from the times you and I grew up, is the comment always was, you don't get my respect, you have to earn it. Yeah. So I guess your comment is just don't do anything to lose it. So
well, and I don't necessarily agree with all this stuff with the way we grew up. That was a little while ago, and it was different times. Okay, there were different things going on. Okay.
Some fun times though.
Well, there's that. There's that too. There's that too. Like I said, my whole goal here was to just have people go beyond he's a that, she's a this, all of this, and do some listening and just not assume that somebody's whatever you think they are or whatever you've been told they are.
Right.
Now, I have a question for you.
Shoot.
Tell me 2 things about Ron other than that he's a hard ass, a bulldog, and a sweetheart. Tell me 2 things about Ron that you really would like people to know that they may not know.
I'm a problem solver.
Okay. Now tell me something.
I'm loyal.
Now tell me something from in here. I love the way you grin when I give you certain questions. It's like, she got me.
God, that's a thought process.
But go into it if you're willing to, and maybe instead of trying to think it out, is feel it out.
That's what I'm trying to.
I know it's hard.
Trying to put it in perspective.
Don't put it in perspective. Put it into words.
Okay, put it in perspective so I can put it into words. There's you want to know my thought process? Here we go.
Tell me something I don't know about Ron from in here.
I'm trying to stay away from the 2 things that you discussed in the beginning.
Yeah, I know it's not. I took those away from you on purpose.
Because 2 things is don't touch animals, because then the bulldog's out and the bad bulldog's out. I think I'm more caring than anybody else really thinks.
That's what I was looking for. You got it. You got it. All right, people, I'm going to tell you. And you just got me, okay? That's a business badass. And not because we can go out and deal with problems and have somebody's back and all. I mean, that's all part of it, okay? But someone with that reputation can sit in this chair in a public forum and say what you just said. And would you say it for me one more time?
I am more caring than a lot of people think.
Thank you.
It's...
No. I'm not going to let you say anymore. I want you to stop there.
But I do things from the heart. I don't do it from the mind. So I guess in that aspect, like you made the comment, is shot from the heart. Well, this season, you can always buy people what they want.
No, you said shop from the heart.
I no,
didn't.
no, I know. I said, but when you repeated it and it got you, and shocked you, I think.
Did not, because I already knew you.
Yeah, okay. But, there's just times that, and during this type of season, just don't give people what they want and what they put on a list. Find something that you heard a year ago that they really had a passion for, but are afraid to ask for it. And then you start thinking about that personality, that person, and say, man, I remember this conversation and the story behind it. I'm getting this for them. That's shopping from the heart.
Yeah, there ain't no bulldog in that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Is there anything you want to close with? Is there anything you want people to know that we haven't talked about before I sign us off?
Yeah, I can make a closing statement. You want someone who cares about your business, but's also there as a bulldog to protect your business? Give me a call.
You got it. You got it. So this is all part of Business Badass Revolution too. Most business coaches don't talk when we talk like this, and that's okay. Lord knows we need the strategy. We need them. But we also need to have this business badass from the inside out. I will see you next time on the Business Badass Revolution. Thank you, Ron.
Thank you, Pat. Appreciate it.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Business Badass Revolution. Remember, as you're walking through your work week, being an entrepreneur shouldn't suck. Remember to like, share, follow, and subscribe. And oh, by the way, leave us a 5-star review. See you next time.